let's get started, right? So, so I'll give you a quick introduction of what Zoho is all about, and we have been around for over 17 years now, and we have 13 million users who are using a lot of our Zoho apps for their business needs, and we have around 350,000 new users per month. So we've been growing with our user base. At a rapid pace. And we have around 2,600 employees at different locations. We are headquarters in Pleasanton in California, and we have also an office in Austin. And most of our employees, including myself, we work out of the office in India, and we also have offices in China and Japan. And this shows you a quick glimpse of our partners and reseller ecosystem that we have. So the minute you reach out with any business needs or licenses, we have our partners and resellers, just a hop, skip, jump distance away from you. And to tell you a little about all the applications that Zoho offers, so we have a suite of productivity and collaboration apps. If you see, we have the Zoho Mail. We have a bundle of collaboration apps called Zoho Docs, where you have the Zoho Writer, you have the Zoho Sheet that's parallel to the spreadsheet that you've been using all the time. And the presentation that right now I'm doing, this presentation that you're seeing on the screen, is made using one of our products of collaboration called Zoho Show. And we also have a lot of apps that can meet your marketing needs, like your email campaigns, running survey with your customers, how to build a customer relationship management and all that. And the cycle gets complete with Zoho Books and Invoice, where you can take care of all the financial needs of building your customers or managing your own financial needs. We also have Zoho Support and a lot of other apps. And right here is our hero of the day, Zoho Creator. So let's get started with getting familiar with Zoho Creator. What is this all about? So every day in our life, in various forms, we collect data, be it from any background that we are. I might be someone who works in a college. I might be running a library. I might be in charge of sales of an organization. So at every aspect in life, in any kind of role that we play, in some form or the other, we keep collecting data. Right, this data is collected via either a web form or sometimes via email. So we have various modes of collection of these data, and most of the time we store these data in the form of a spreadsheet. And we all know by now how as much as useful the spreadsheet is when it comes to around analysis of the data, or how your data has been behaving or performing over a period of time. It makes it a little difficult with the spreadsheet being very stagnant, or if you have business needs where you have to collaborate with peers, then sharing and collaborating becomes a little more challenging. So we have Zoho Creator, which is an online database managing software that helps you in not only collecting and organizing these data, but also helps you generate reports periodically, and it also helps you do a very meaningful analysis of your business needs over time. So we have around 2 million users now and more than 1 million applications that have been created using Zoho Creator. And you can see some of the companies that use Zoho Creator service. And here are a few testimonials from some of our customers. And Most of us don't get ourselves tied to a desktop these days. We're on the go and we keep ourselves updated with news and business developments, either from a coffee shop or when we are traveling. So we have Zoho Creator applications available to you to download to your mobile phones or to your iPad, and you can check it out in the App Store or in the Google Play for Android. Right, and we also have a surprise for our customers who are really geek or patrons of Apple. We have Zoho Creator app also available for the Apple Watch, and how cool is that? You can go and check it out in the App Store and find out how to wear your business on your wrist and keep yourself updated on the go. So we get started now, and I'm going to tell you a quick story on how to get yourself familiar with Zoho Creator, right? We all have dreams. We dream every day of various things, and we dream of managing our business all by ourselves, especially when it comes to small and medium businesses. And we have a dream to grow, we have a dream to manage our data. And if you ask me, my dream was to build my own app. I come from a non technical background, I'm a non programmer. I'm in fact basically an industrial microbiologist. So my dream was to build an app to see if I can get any closer to being a programmer myself. So we all have a dream. What takes us closer to achieving that dream is to have a good plan in place. So, in this context, the plan will be to convert all your dreams of managing your business into a blueprint of how you want to build an application. So, you can very well use a pen and a paper and you can write down a simple business plan around which you can build your application. So, in the next 40 minutes or so, I'm going to help you with a very simple plan, and I'm going to show you how you can build an app yourself, right? So we can always build something really simple yet very functional app, and we can always make it more dynamic, we can make it more flexible, and we can get the application do a lot of work for you. So from dream to refinement, you see a lot of stages of development of the application, and there's no big secret of getting ahead. All you have to do is to just get started, right? So I'm going to share with you a secret to get ahead right at the end of this webinar. So before that, I'm going to tell you a very simple step of getting familiar with Zoho Creator by building a very simple app, which is a mobile phone store management. And to talk in terms of familiarity, I'm going to break it down into terminologies that we all understand instead of using terms from the Zoho Creator world to begin with. So, any business these days, any business as how we have been doing it all this while, involves how you manage your customers to begin with, and all the data that you have collected all this while, say in the form of an inventory, which is usually a spreadsheet or any kind of data that has eventually grown into a database. I also want to manage my business. It's on one side, it's managing customers, and on the other side, you really have to manage your business, right? So your business will be ever growing after you get your basic application built. So to keep track of a lot of things is in your hand. So as I say, manage your customers, it starts from facing a lot of questions and comments from your customer, all the inquiries that they have. So, how do I manage that? And the other important aspect of managing your customers is to take orders from them. So, you have a website that your business has, and you have all your products displayed there, and you're up and running, and you want to be ready for your customers to place orders. So how does Zoho Creator help in managing your customers and order taking? And when it comes to inventory, your database is ever growing. The more popular your business becomes, the more stronger your inventory becomes, and in no time it becomes longer than the Great Wall of China. And most of the questions that you have, a little inhibition that you have, is what happens to this data that you have collected all this while? How am I going to bring it to an entirely different platform? Will my data be safe? Or after I import my data, in this case an inventory, how much work is left after it is imported into Zoho Creator? So we have all kinds of questions before we get started, right? So if importing inventory was one challenge, keeping it updated is totally another, right? So I also have to keep track of my customers, as and when I get my store updated with new tablets and new mobile phones, I want to keep track of my patrons and, impress them on the new products that I have. And I also have to keep track of my sales. My business will grow tomorrow from one single unit of store to a chain of stores of mobile phones that I may have. So I have to keep track of sales, and these stores may be even located in different geographical locations. So how am I going to take care of a very simple business plan that revolves around three major points, that is people, and then you have your data, and you want your data to not just sit idle on a spreadsheet. You want it to do some work for you. You want the data to become alive and more dynamic. So we have spoken terminologies from our business world, from our day-to-day vocabulary. So now I'm going to take you into one unit to start with from the whole plan, that is to manage your customers. And then later we look into the other aspects of managing your inventory and managing your business too. To start with, if I have to manage my customers and I have a website, I would think of creating a form to collect the same kind of data from all my customers, which is usually a contact us form. A contact us form has a name field, probably a contact number field, email address of your prospect or your customer, and it also allows them to leave a comment on the same form. So I'm going to jump into your favorite part of the webinar now. I'm going to jump into a little demonstration mode, getting into the Zoho Creator platform, and show you how to begin with managing your customers by creating a simple contact us form. And we'll also talk a little bit about how to play around in the playground. Okay, so I'm going to go to another page where I'm going to sign in to Zoho Creator. That's where we'll all begin. And I'm just going to use a demonstration account to sign in. So I'm entering into the actual world of Zoho Creator. So as you sign in, you can see our invitation where we have webinars every week. So when you click on learn more, it takes you to the landing page of our webinar, and you can use to sign up for the future webinars that we have. So we have webinars scheduled every Tuesday and in different time zones. So you can use that to sign up and explore more of Zoho Creator. So coming back to the homepage of Zoho Creator, you can see that there is a My Apps section, and then you have a Shared Apps. And you also have an option to create a new application. And you also see a bunch of menu there, which we will explore as we talk more through this webinar. So to start with, I have an already created app that's listed under my apps section, and if anyone has shared an app with me already, that's all listed in the shared apps section. So I'm going to the my apps and I'm going to create an application, and I have three different ways of creating an application. So I can either create an application from the application gallery, excuse me. So we have a bunch of applications put together for you so that you can already get started, and all you have to do is tweak it a bit to meet your business needs. So you can choose any of the sales management or the order management, or the event management that we have, some of the popular apps that we have put together for you to get you started and bring you up to speed. So you can read about these apps from the app gallery and install. And once you click the install now button, it appears in the my apps section of your application, and you just can start get going with tweaking the application and bringing all your data inside. So that is about choosing a template from the application gallery. And let me show you the other two ways to create an application. And now we have an option to import a file. So all the inventory and the other database that you have, you can use this mode, which we will also be talking about in this webinar at a later point of time, as to how to import a file and use it to build an application. Right, so this is my favorite part, to build an application from start, in the way I want, and I go ahead with my plan. So I'm going to give my application a name. So let me name it the Zilka Mobile Store Management. So after I give my application a name, it's baptized, I'm going to say create. Okay, so it has taken me into what I call the playground, and you can see that the name of the application is on the top left, and you can see a bunch of menu here on the Zoho Creator menu bar, and there is also a list of vertical, set of items that you see, which we will get familiar as we talk more. So right now I'm going to focus on this area where you have different fields, and you have an entitled form here, and it says you can drag and drop the fields here, and you can work on the properties. So we were talking about in the presentation about how you're going to manage your customers by building a simple contact us form. So I'm going to help you create a contact us form in no time using Zoho Creator. So okay, if I can call this my kitchen, I would say all that you see here as fields are the important utensils or the ingredients that you need to cook a form. And you see the form properties and field properties are more like the toppings and other important items that you need to decorate your form and present your form to the outside world. So we have almost 25 to 26 different kinds of fields, and all you have to do is just drag and drop it into this playground that we have. So I'm going to start with giving my form a name. So right when I clicked on the entitled form, you can see that the bar switched from fields properties to form properties, because I'm going to work on the name of the form, and I'm going to change it as contact us. So as I type the contact us name here, giving the form a title, you can see that the name of the form is changed and it is auto saved. right? So it changes, it saves you changes every now and then, and you don't have to worry about it. So I'm going to first start drag and drop a single line field, because the first essential field in any contact us form is the name of the potential lead or a contact or a future customer that you may have. Excuse me. So you have the name field, and uh, I need an email address field, right? So I'm just going to rename the fields from email to email address, and I see that the change is already being effective here. So you don't have to worry about validating the email address, because Zoho Creator automatically does it for you, right? So I just can play around looking at the field properties. Say if I want to make the name mandatory, so you can see the red asterisk there, the star that says that you have to fill. It's mandate that the name of the customer should be there in the contact us form. So I can make the email address mandatory too, and I would need the phone number, which can be an option. And I'm not going to make it mandatory, so I'm going to leave it to the choice of the customer. So I have a phone number field, and I'm going to drag drop a multi-line field, because I want the person who is going to visit my mobile store website, or if I'm planning to use this contact us form for a event that my store will host, or a media campaign that I want to run. So I can use the contact us form for various purposes, and I'm going to name this field as the products that I'm interested in. So we are creating this form for the customers, for them to consume, and I'm going to drag drop another multi-line field for them to leave any other comments about the website or the product, right? So I'm this area that you see as soon as you sign in to Zoho Creator is called the form builder area, because this is where we cook the form. It's still in the cooking stage, and we can't eat any of the dishes yet. As you see, I can't type the name in this field, right? So I have and access this application, as you can see on the right top of your screen, and I'm going to click this to see if the dish that I have cooked is ready to be consumed. So I'm going to say access this application. So in this case, the application is a simple contact us form. So an application need not be a very complex, laden with reports and analysis and all kinds of, pie charts and bar diagrams. It can be as simple as a contact us form. So you can see that the contact us form has been created, and by default, you also have a contact us report that is being generated, right? So I'm going to consume this form by entering a few details into this form, just to check how a report looks after I enter the data, right? So right now, you see no data that's available in the report. I'm going back to the contact us form, and I'm going to type a few entries into this. So what happens if in a number field, by mistake, I type a few letters? So as you use the number field, it validates the number field, and it says that you can't type letters. So I'm going to just type random numbers here, and I'm going to say I'm interested in iPad and an iPhone, right? So I'm also going to leave a comment here saying I would like to do business with you, right? So I'm going to submit this data, and you can see that the data is being added, and it gives me a success message. And I'm going to go into the report and I see that the data that I entered in the contact us form has been entered into the report automatically. So we'll talk more about reports as we build the app more. So in no time, you have the contact us form ready right in front of you. And at any stage you want to make any changes to this contact us form, all you have to do is go back from your dining table to your kitchen. That is, go back to edit this application, which is a form. So as you hover your mouse around each of these fields, you can see that it's so easy to delete any of these fields, and I can always drag drop any more fields that I want into the contact us form, right? So I have the contact us form ready in no time. What do I do with it now? Keep it myself? No, I want to share it with my customers or vendors. I want to publish it on my website. I want to embed it on my website, or I want to run a social media campaign or an email campaign where I want to use this form to collect a lot of data, right? So before I go ahead and publish this form, I should be ready to get notified when someone fills information into this contact us form. So I'm going to use this little widget here on the form builder area, which is actually the form settings, and I'm going to click notification. So it's going to take you to a page where you can configure email and SMS notification depending on your convenience and your plan. And you can choose Zoho variables depending on whether you're the admin of the app, and you can choose a two field, and you can give a relevant subject line and a message. So whenever a new data is added into your contact us form, you either get notified via your email, or you can choose to be notified via a text message. So all of us use smartphone these days, and it will be so amazing as you sit in a coffee shop before you start your day. You get notified that someone is trying to contact you and wants to do business with you. So instead of getting back to your desk and waiting to log into your email account, or work through the pile of your email, you get instantly notified and immediately contact the lead or your customer, right? All you have to do is enable your text message notification, and Zoho Creator has uh, tied up with different services to enable you to work on your connections. And we have various service providers that can help you in adding these connections, right? So I'm going to refresh this page once. And so you can set notifications and get notified as you get data added to the contact us form. So I'm going to go back to the form builder mode. Now that you have your notifications ready, you are ready to share this form to the outside world. So as soon as you click publish, it gives you a preview of how your contact us form looks. And like I said, you have a few options to decorate your form, to make it match with the vibrant colors of your website, make it look more appealing than just a simple black and white contact us form. And you can play around on the form properties and the label fields and the field size. You can also add a success message here if you want and redirect it to the next URL. So you just can play around with this screen. For now, after the preview of the contact us form, I'm going to click publish. Okay, I want to proceed. So as you can see that depending on which plan you use, it says the trial and free edition users are not allowed to publish, right? So I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to quickly ask one of my friends from support to upgrade this account because it's not going to help me. So we'll meanwhile come back to this page, and see how we can work on generating links. So when I click on this publish, it's going to generate two kinds of URLs. So one that helps you to embed your contact us form onto your website, and the other, it generates a code snippet, a kind of an HTML that you can use to embed on your website. So you can use one link for your social media campaigns, or a link to share with others to get data. And you can also use the embed snippet to embed it on your website and get your contact us form up and running. So I'm going to come back to this page in a few minutes to show you how the two links are generated. For now, we'll go back to the form builder. All right, so let's go back to the presentation to check where we are in the story of building an application. So we saw how to create a simple contact us form, and we also saw how to edit, how easy it is to delete a particular field in a form, or how easy it is to add more data into it, which gets generated as a report, right? So we'll come back to see how to share or embed a form. We also covered how to enable email and SMS notifications depending on what subscription you are in. So I'm going to refresh this page once again, and I'm going to check if the publish works right now. All right, my friends from support here are awesome. So we've got this up and running. So they've upgraded my account, and as you can see, there are two kinds of URL that is being generated. One is for you to publish this in your email, or you can use the embed URL, the snippet that you see here on you, and you can use that to embed this form on your website, right? So I'm going to go back to the form builder and go a little ahead in our story, right? So when I say manage my customers, the other half of managing my customers, as we saw in the beginning, was order taking. But then I'm going to jump into a bit of managing the inventory. um, I hope a lot of you have questions on why we are not doing the order taking yet. So when I think about building an order form for my customers to place orders, where will they choose the list of products that I have? How will they know what kind of mobile devices that I have in the offer? So before I invite them to place their orders, to build an order form via an order form, I have to manage my existing data. I have to bring the data into Creator, and we'll also look at how easy it is to update your existing data using Zoho Creator, right? So in the next few minutes, we'll look at how to make this application more dynamic by importing a file that is an inventory I have right now. And how does the existing data look in the form of a form or a report? I'm also going to tell you how to add, edit, or search this endless list of inventory that you have, and a little peek into the report settings, right? So I'm going to quickly go into the demonstration mode again, and this is where we were in our cooking area, where we have the contact us form ready. So now I'm going to use the vertical pane here and hover over the create new, and I'm going to say I'm going to create a new form. I'm not going to actually create a new form. I'm actually going to import a file that I have as a form of inventory. So I'm going to bring in the existing data. So where is my data? All right, so let me try that again. Today seems to be a day of constant refreshing for me. Sorry about that. Okay, works like magic. Right, so I'm going to click I have a lot of options to locate this file that I have. Right now, I have it on my computer. You can also, if you're already using Zoho's cloud services, where you have your Zoho spreadsheet, or the data in the form of a spreadsheet that you have uploaded to Zoho Docs, or any of the cloud services that you have, right? You just can locate the file, and I have it here. So you get a confirmation that your file has been attached. So I can see my mobile inventory here, and I'm going to say create. Okay, so I have almost 61 rows of data that's ready to be imported. As you can see, I have all the data that's listed here, and all the label names, the top row that I have in my sheet, that is the brand, the device name, the operating system. So all the different fields in my Excel sheet and from my spreadsheet is right here. So Zoho Creator at this point helps you to decide what kind of field types you need. So right above each of these labels, you can decide how you want this data to be imported. So I'm going to quickly decide that the operating system that I have can be in the form of radio buttons. Another field that has repeated values is the storage. So maybe I would choose a drop down. So as I finish importing this data, you will see how easy it is to bring all these into Zoho Creator. Okay, so now I have, other than the contact us form that we created, we have a mobile inventory. So I'm going to click that, and it takes me inside the kitchen. So just to see what has happened to the entire data, I'm going to go to the dining area to consume the dish. All right, so this is more like a takeaway, except that I'm ordering from my own restaurant. So I have a mobile inventory form that has been automatically generated depending on the label names that I had. So the form has been created by itself, and I have all the data that I had in my inventory imported as a mobile inventory report. Now, how cool is that? So I can see that all the 61 rows of data has been imported, and I can increase the records per page as how much ever I want to, right? So records are nothing but each row of data that you had in your spreadsheet. So in this side of the world, in Zoho Creator, we call each of these entries in your report as a record. So you can, as you hover, as you explore this area, you can see that you can edit each of these records. So this is an inventory report. Remember that this inventory is going to be ever modified. It's going to be always growing. It's going to be changing all the time. So if I have to work on a spreadsheet, and imagine I have 2, 3 stores in different geographical locations, imagine how close to impossible it's going to be to keep my data up and running, and to not worry about the different versions of spreadsheet that I have to keep storing, right? So we'll come back to understand the different areas in the report, how the filters work, how do I search these records for an existing record that I have, and all the other areas of this report soon. For now, I'm going to go back to the mobile inventory form to just show you that when I imported the inventory, you remember I changed the field types for 2 columns, that is the operating system and the storage. So I had the radio button option chosen for the operating system, and I had a drop down for the storage. So I have that is done perfectly by Zoho Creator, and I could not, you know, anywhere close to worry about all the data and how to import huge data that I have, right? So where are we in the story right now? So I showed you how to import a file. We imported an inventory, a mobile store inventory, and how do the form and report look? So they automatically get generated, and I have all my data intact in the form of report. And we'll come back how to add, edit, and search the records in a report, because we still have a little story pending in managing our customers, right? So I'm going to go to order taking before we go back to understanding the report settings. So I'm going to quickly go through creating an order form and making the app a little more dynamic and make it do wonders for you at this stage, right? So to create anything new, to modify anything new, to add a little more salt, or to make it more spicy, I have to get back into the kitchen. So I'm going to go back into the edit mode of the application, and this time I'm going to create a new form and create an order form. Okay, it's been kind enough this time. So I'm going to quickly create an order form with all the essential fields that it would have. I'm going to make the name mandatory. I'm going to bring in an email address field. I'm going to make it mandatory, and maybe a number field for a phone number. And what else would I need in an order form? Why did we even import the inventory right now? So I want the customers to know what kind of device that I have in the offer. So I'm going to quickly build a relationship between this order form and one part of the inventory that I have. I do not have to expose or share the entire inventory to the customers. So I'm going to work on a new relationship between these two forms that I have. And I'm going to drag this little lookup field. And I do not want you to worry too much about this little box that has popped up. As you can see, as soon as I drag dropped the lookup field, it's trying to help me set up a relationship between the mobile inventory that I have and the order form. So I'm choosing the application that I'm currently working on, and I'm choosing the area. I have two different forms right now, and the data that I need is actually in the mobile inventory form, and the data that I need in the field is just the device name. So I don't have to tell the customers about any of the details that I have here. And I'm going to ensure that they have a drop down so that they can take a look at all the devices that I have in the offer. And what else would I need? I would want them to tell me how many pieces of device that they would need. Probably I would call it the quantity this time. And I'm going to make it important, mandatory. And I'm going to drag drop a multi-line field where they will give me their address, and also a date and time field where I can have the delivery date. Right, so now I have a very simple, not yet simplistic order form, and I have to go from the kitchen area to the area where I'm consuming it. So we have to go to access the application, and so beautifully all the devices that I have from the inventory has been in a beautiful relationship with my order form. So I click on the order report and I have no data available because I have not share it with my customers. Now you know where you have to go to share this order form or to embed this on your website and also get notified when you get a new order, don't you? So we covered all this as we build a contact us form. Now I'm here, right? So I found it so easy to create a relationship between two important forms data that I have. And I also want to delight my customers, right? It's not just about managing the customers. I want to delight my customers. So I'm going to bring a genie alive. So we are going to set a small rule for this order form to obey. I'm just going to give it a little task to do, right? So I want to work on customer delight and I want to surprise the customer with a discount if they order for more than two pieces of device, for example. So I go back to the form builder mode and if they order more than two pieces of device, I want them to get a coupon code using which they can avail a 10% or a 20% discount, right? So I want to increase my sales and I'm going to use Zoho Creator to bring a new rule task to this. So since we are going to work on the quantity, I'm going to click on that field and I am going into the field properties of that particular field. So I am going to click on the create new under rules and I'm probably going to say show coupon code and I'm going to say show coupon code if the order is more than two and okay, so I think I forgot to add the coupon code field, which we'll do right now. So I have brought in a new field, which is a single line field that I would name as the coupon code field. And right in between, the quantity and the address, I have it placed. So you see how easy it is to modify an order form. I'm going to go back to the quantity field and now I'm going to click create new and I'm going to say show the coupon code field. I'm telling my genie what to do. So show the coupon code field if the order is more than two. Right? So when do you want this action to happen? Whenever there is a new addition and when the record is updated. So I'm going to give it a new criteria where you can say that in the quantity field, if there is a value that is greater than 2, then I want my form to perform a new task. What is the task? It is to show the coupon code. So as my business grows, I might have different coupon codes for different kinds of customers. So for which I use this to give it a name for the rule. So later, as your business grows, you can give each coupon a name and give each rule a different name for you to remember. So now I'm going to select a task. I want the coupon code field to show only if the value is greater than 2. So I'm going to show the field, that's the task. And the field that I want to show is the coupon code. As you can see, it's giving me all the fields that is there in the order form. And it's the coupon code field that I want to be shown if the order is greater than 2. I have to remember to save and associate this particular rule and task, and I'm going to add the rule. So I have the rule displayed here, which is an assurance that you have saved and associated the task to that particular field, right? So now I have to taste the dish, right? So I'm going to access this application and I see that the coupon code field is not visible here. So I'm going to just enter my own name to check whether the rule that I have created works fine. I'm just going to choose. So if I say 2, nothing happens. There's no coupon code that is displayed because the rule that the task that we gave here was greater than 2. So I'm going to say 4, and you can see that the coupon code field appears. So the customer has to enter the coupon code that you have flashed on your website. Just give his or her address, give the delivery date, and submit. So I'm just going to submit this because I've taken care of all the mandatory fields. So when I say submit, it says the data has been added successfully, and I can see that data appear in my order form report. So as and when I get new orders, I'm going to get a longer list of report. So I took care of um, a simple rule and I associated it with a task, and I've asked my genie to take care of delighting my customers. Right? So both the aspects of managing my customers and the order taking has been taken care of. So now I'm going to walk you through a little bit of report settings. Like I promised before, we look at a little bit of application settings. So as my number of records keeps growing, as my inventory grows, how do I import fresh data into this? I might get new stock, every day there is a new phone that is being released in the market. So how do I work on, you can always bring fresh data into this inventory by importing more data that you have from another spreadsheet, and it will get added into these records. And you can also export any of these records as a PDF, or the different formats that we have, and you can export the data. As I said, you can also work on the number of records that you want to see per page. So the most important part of the report is the filter that we have. Zoho Creator automatically creates auto filters wherever you have a field that has a repeated entry. So if I click on filters, you can see that there are 2 auto filters that have been generated because I chose the operating system to be a radio button. If you remember, when I imported my inventory, and I have a radio button option for storage. So these two have been generated as auto filters. And I'm sorry, as my inventory grows, I can use any of these filters to see how my stock looks to keep my store up and running. So these filters are pretty much like the filters that you use when you shop online for your favorite clothing or your favorite shoes, where you use filters unless you zero down on your size, on your favorite brand. So it's pretty much like that. And you can also, so I'm going to clear all the filters right now, and I'm also going to see how easy it is to search based on the brand or the device name or the different fields that I have, that enables me to work with my inventory more dynamically. I don't have to worry about deleting or change of any records, right? So I want to look at more settings. So I'm going to go back to edit this application, where it takes you to the report settings. So you just can play around to see what kind of settings do you have. You have a quick summary of your mobile inventory report here, and you have your column properties. So if you want to change your columns a bit, if you have to move them around, you just can bring in the color field here, or you just can make the operating system as the first ever field that you want. So as and when you drag and drop and rearrange these properties, so the change is being made in the report, as you can see, as you access you can see that the operating system has become the first field in your report, right? So I'm going back. So you just can play around with the different settings that you have. So if you want to remove any of these fields, if you want to generate a report and you don't want any of these fields in the report, you just can drag and drop. Say, I don't want the total quantity to be there in my report. I'm just going to drag it out of my mobile inventory report, and I just can check that we don't have the total quantity field right here. So it's so easy to generate different kinds of reports using Zoho Creator and in no time. So you just can play around. So other than the auto filters that we have, you can also create your own custom filters. And as you make your app more dynamic and you share it with other users who will be as part of your business in your own organization, you can use these to restrict the visibility of various reports and records that you have, right? So I'm just going to let you play around these report settings because it's all about hands-on. Okay, so I'm going to quickly jump into how to manage your application now that you have a very simple and dynamic application ready. How do you go about your application settings? How do you manage your users? How to take a quick backup of your application and how to work on your subscriptions? So I'm going to choose the settings from the vertical menu that you have that takes you to the application setting. So you can rename your application if you want. You can work on renaming the link of the application, and you just can go hands-on on this and explore whether you want to show the federated logins to log in via your Google or Yahoo in the the welcome page of the app, or you just can sign up, show a sign up link, or you can sign in using Zoho, and you can also set your date and time zone, and you can save your settings here. Right. So, other than working on the general application settings, the most important part is how do I share the entire application or a part of the application with someone in my own organization. So, in this example, I would like to imagine if I have a sales representative that's working from another state in the US. So, I want to share the inventory just in case the salesperson has acquired new stock for that particular store. So I want her to update my inventory, yet I do not want to share the entire inventory database that I have. So I'm going to share just the mobile inventory form where she can enter the data, the new stock that she acquired for that store. So I'm going to choose that part of the app, and I'm going to type the email address that I'm going to share it with. So if it's an organization, you can also select a group or you can select an individual user, and you can also work on the email contents that we have here. You can either use the template that we have here, or you can work on customizing it to your needs. So I'm going to share it now. It says sharing is done, and I'm going to quickly log in to the account to check if this has been shared, right? Yes, I've got the email invitation, right? And I have the link that will take me into the mobile inventory form. So if I play my own sales rep, so I can use this form to enter the data, the newly acquired stock that I have. So I'm going to quickly use this form to say the brand is Apple and the device name is iPhone 6 Plus. And I'm going to choose the operating system, and I'm going to say the storage. Total quantity is 20, available quantity is 30, and the color is gold, right? So I'm going to submit, and it says that the data has been added successfully. So where do I go and check? So I'm going to switch my roles just to make you understand. I'm going to switch my roles from being the sales rep back to the owner of the app. So I'm going into the app that we built, into the mobile inventory form that we have. I'm going to the dining area and I'm going to check the report. So I have a long list of inventories, so I can use the search to see if the data has been added, and I can see it here right on top that the data that was added via the form that was shared is automatically updated, and I can check it from wherever I am. Now, how cool is that, right? So you can work on, let me go back to the application settings where we talked a bit about the share. So if you want to talk a little more about complex sharing and permissions, you can slowly explore, I would say, take your time to understand how Zoho Creator works. Try building new apps before you get into these users and permissions. You can also use our help guide to understand how to set up roles and profiles in your organization, right? So in the future webinars we'll be covering more of these applications. You don't have to worry about this in the getting started sessions, and the backup, which is the most important part of my application, right? So I'm going to click on setup, where I have different options to manage the users. So I can invite users to consume this app, to work on this app, and I can just type their email address and send them an invite. I can also click on managing my subscriptions, and I can take a look at the different editions that we have. I can also compare editions and decide what edition will suit my business needs. And we usually start with a free sign up. We give you enough time to explore our product. You can start with a free trial, and you can decide as you go, and you can decide what features you want and get it added, right? All you have to do is um, write an email to the support team on the plan that's right for you, or you get upgraded to a professional or an enterprise editions that we have depending on your business consumption, right? So now what's left of this is to take a quick backup of your applications, where I go back to the setup and I take a new backup. Usually, if you have taken backups already, you can see the list of apps that are in the process of, backing up, or they've already have a copy of the app. Now, I don't have any, so I'm going to choose the application name and I'm going to say take a backup right away, or I'm going to decide the different frequencies of the app, right? So the one time backup is already started, and you can check after some time that the app has been backed up. So in that way, you don't have to worry about losing your app. So as we explore more familiarity into Zoho Creator, we can look at more options of what is the rebranding and other usage limits that we have. You don't have to really worry about this at this stage, right? So we saw how to manage your customers, how to manage an inventory, and how would you manage your business, right? You have to keep track of your patrons, of your regular customers. You have to see which geographical locations is doing well on your sales. And suddenly you realize that the most popular tablet or your mobile phone has gone out of stock. Would you not want to be notified when you're almost running out of your stock, so that you can create a purchase order and you can save yourself some embarrassment? Would you also want to find which of the phones are selling really well so that I can buy more stocks and be ready for the future? And how nice it'll be if you don't have to work on manually generating an invoice, or if you have to hire more people in your organization just to take care of the billing process of your customers, right? So all of these is beautifully done using Zoho Creator. As you explore more of the rules and tasks and other workflow and automations that we have, you can get answers to these, and we cover all these topics in our webinars that are coming up every Tuesday in our custom workflow and advanced application building, right? So for now, I just want you to try the applications from the app gallery, sign up for more webinars that are coming up in the near future. We also have a live community of people who are developing apps, who have been developers for a long time. You can also use our user guides, and we're coming up with a lot of how-to videos very soon to help you up and running. We also have our friends from customer support who will be delighted to help you. You can send your questions away by writing at this email address, or you can call them at this toll-free number. Right? You can also visit our website for more information, and you can write to our support team too. Right now, how we look at building apps is just to play around with the things, pull them apart. It's not like taking your child, a 3-year old, to a China store where you have to worry about breaking things. Just don't worry, because you're not going to break anything. Just go ahead and play around and explore more of Zoho Creator. Ask more questions. We'll be happy to help you. And the most important thing is that's how we all work. I told you I'm from a non-programming background, and I have learned to play around with Zoho Creator. And I told you that I'll share a secret of getting ahead. You just have to get started. So do not get overwhelmed with the entire complexity of the product, because if you look at the entire mountain and you're going to worry about how you're going to climb and reach on top, it's really scary. But what's possible is to take one step at a time, and it's definitely doable, right? So we also have an important event, our annual celebration of meeting our customers at this time of the year. The Sales and Marketing Zoholics happens at starting at 19th of May till 21st, and we're meeting at the headquarters of Zoho at Pleasanton. And you can visit this site to get more information. You can register and participate in the event, get to see more people who use our sales and marketing apps, like the CRM, or how integrations work between CRM and Creator and other products. You can also establish your network. You can meet our partners and resellers, and it's a really happening event. So we do this at a headquarters. We have 4,500 square feet of space, our own event space, and we have our customers saying that we have great Wi-Fi and great food, right? And we also have begun on taking a world tour. We've begun with our first ever creator workshop in London. That'll happen in the Monday that's coming on the 11th of May, and it's a 1-day workshop, and we have cool number of registrations, and we're getting started with our first ever workshop, teaching our customers hands-on to get started with creator. And that's about this webinar. I thank you, one and all.